Season 4 of the Marvel Rivals lore. This one features a rivalry between Angela and Daredevil, as well as a sort of fight for power and dragons and, of course, Doom. And all that. It actually kind of focuses more on Daredevil for the most part, though. Starting with the first one, which is Big Boy Dragon God Person Guy talking. You'll see. You'll see what we're talking about when we get into it.
I have been known by many names across the eons, but most of them cannot be pronounced by human tongues. In the days since mortals first arrived here in the sacred city of Kunlun, one of the great capital cities of heaven, I have been called Shou-Lao, the Undying. Countless legends have been written about me, the dragon whose heart burns with unfathomable power. For over 1 million years I have shared that power with noble champions who proved themselves worthy. My immortal weapons, my iron fists. They have fought to protect Kunlun from anyone who would dare to harm it. But now, a new threat has arisen, unlike any other I have seen, and for the first time I can recall, I fear for my city and my people. It began when all space and time became fractured by the meddling of mortals. As a result, all 7 of the capital cities materialized in the same plane of reality, an alignment that is only supposed to occur once every 88 years. And formed the heart of heaven. Normally, this would be a time for celebration and sport, but instead, we found ourselves caught in the midst of a war between gods and demons. The heart of heaven was in dire need of protection, but I could offer none. The same events that sent the time stream spiraling into chaos had an unexpected effect on me. I became frozen in time as if caught in a deep slumber. And while I could sense all that was happening around me, it was as if I was in a waking dream. Sadly, that dream would soon become a nightmare. Since my Iron Fist had ventured away from Kunlun to protect other realms in peril, one of the mortals responsible for this madness, a man known as Doom, seized the opportunity to invade this blessed place. His intent was clear. He coveted my heart, the very source of my power, the wellspring of chi that I have shared with every Iron Fist. But as time stream froze me in place, it struck my heart as well, fusing with the new energy born of this so-called entanglement. For what purpose does he seek this great power? I cannot say. It could be that he wishes to use its restorative power to mend his scarred visage, or perhaps to purify the soul of one that he loved and lost. Whatever the case, he must be stopped. Yet I can do nothing but watch as he advances towards my lair. Thankfully, my Iron Fist has returned to the heart of heaven, and he has brought many allies with him. But there is a secret Lin Lai has hidden from his companions, one that could very well spell the end for Kunlun, and perhaps all of reality if it is revealed. Unlike the Iron Fist before him, Lin Lai did not truly earn his legendary power. He was given it, and what was given can always be taken away. So that one was Let the Sleeping Dragon Lie, and the next one is Angel and Devil. I've waited a long time to finally get an audience with you, Shou-Lao. The least you could do is awaken from your slumber and acknowledge my presence. The man, now known as Dizang, paused for what seemed like an eternity, but there was no response from the ancient dragon in front of him. Dizang couldn't even hear Shou-Lao breathing. It was as if the giant creature had been frozen in time. Fine, Dizang relented. If you won't speak, I'll at least make sure you listen to everything I have to say. I'm sure you're well aware that the capital cities of heaven have converged long before they were supposed to. But what you fail to recognize is that there are more than 7 of them. I represent the 8th city, a realm that has long been excluded from your assembly of favored nations. For ages, you treated my realm as nothing more than a prison for criminals and monsters, the very worst the capital cities had to offer. But in the time since I arrived, I have worked hard to change that. What was once a lawless underworld is now a refuge for those who have been displaced by the war raging beyond your walls. These people had nowhere else to go, but they're here now, and you can't ignore them any longer. They deserve representation, and I'm more than willing to fight for it. You know nothing of fighting, a woman said from behind Dizang. Not until you have crossed blades with elder gods on the edge of oblivion and lived to tell the tale. Dizang turned to face this new visitor to Shou-Lao's palace, a red-haired warrior with golden armor and a massive spear. I recognize your heartbeat, Dizeng said. You're Asgardian. Born of the gods, perhaps, she said. But I was raised by angels. Angels, Dizeng replied with a smirk. I lost faith in those a long time ago. Then I will make you believe again, the warrior woman said, raising her spear and leaping toward Dizeng. So swears Angela, the hand of heaven! Despite Angela's swift attack, Dizeng leaped out of the way effortlessly, avoiding any contact whatsoever. I've been to hell and back, Dizeng said. Slayed my share of beasts, faced enough devils, and you're destined to become one yourself. But if that's what I need to be to protect my people, I'm okay with it. I know exactly what you are, Angela said, her eyes burning with rage. Only a devil can offer sanctuary to a witch like Hela. Everyone deserves a second chance, Dizeng replied. That includes all of us. You, me, Lausa. What? What do you know of my sister? Angela gasped, shocked by the name the man in front of her just uttered. I know she's safe, Dizeng said, and that you'll be reunited soon, but only if we survive the battles to come. And to do that, an angel may have to make a deal with the devil, if she dares. And that one was Angel and Devil, and that's what, the Daredevil and Angela coming into the story and stuff. And the next one is The Lies of Lin Lai. Perfect name right there. A passage from the Book of Doom. I came to the fabled city of Kunlun with one goal in mind, to gather a unique form of Chronovium, infused with powerful chi energy native to this realm. When my efforts led me to the undying dragon Shou-Lao, the source of the ancient power stored within the crystals, I vowed to claim every last drop of chi flowing through the slumbering beast's heart in the name of Doom. It is a rare occasion when I must abandon one of my master plans. But when Shou-Lao was unexpectedly awakened by a group of meddlesome heroes, I was forced to reconsider my approach. Make no mistake, a cobbled team of heroes and a furious dragon, even together, would still be no match for Doom. But to defeat them all, how much time would I waste? How much risk would I take? Compared to slaying a sleeping dragon that cannot fight back, a direct assault is simply not worth it. Luckily, one as brilliant as Victor Von Doom is never without a backup plan. Shou-Lao's chi would still be mine, and I would claim it legitimately, unlike the dragon's current champion. You see, as a devout student of the mystic arts, I am well aware of how one becomes the immortal weapon of Kunlun. One must complete the Shenlong trial, defeating Shou-Lao in combat by plunging their fist into his heart. Only then can they claim the power of his chi and the title of Iron Fist. But it seems as if someone did not bother to follow the rules. Whispers had told me of how Lin Lai, Shou-Lao's current chosen one, never took part in any trial. Instead, he was gifted the dragon's power when he was injured beyond repair, and the beast took pity on him. It was a secret that neither Lin Lai nor Shou-Lao wanted the world to know, and one I would use to my advantage. As I descended slowly before the assembled crowd, both the wary heroes and Shou-Lao himself were clearly poised for battle. Yet Doom had no intention of engaging with such crude combat. At least not yet. Instead, I challenged Shou-Lao to a proper trial, citing the fact that Lin Lai's claim to the Iron Fist was illegitimate. According to the traditions of Kunlun, the warrior who would become the true 67th Iron Fist was still undetermined. I already knew that the title would belong to Doom, so I demanded the chance to prove my worth. Alas, Shou-Lao had other plans. He invoked a law from the Book of the Iron Fist, one so ancient that even I, who have studied countless magical tomes, had never heard of it. The law states that if a challenge to the title of an immortal weapon is raised when the capital cities of heaven have converged, each city is allowed the chance to claim the power by participating in an epic tournament. And since the accursed time-string entanglement had fused the seven mystical realms into the heart of heaven, all immortal weapons were now eligible to vie for Shou-Lao's mighty chi. I had no choice but to accept Shou-Lao's terms and to prepare for the tournament at hand. I had faith that Doom would be able to win against any foes, immortal or otherwise. However, if the dragon was able to send in a champion to fight in his name, perhaps it would be wise for me to do the same. And that was Doom speaking in that one. And now we have all new immortal weapons. That's the name of the next one. And this one is by Galacta. Hey there, rivals. It's your girl Galacta with a major announcement. Someone, I'm looking at you, Doom, decided it would be a good idea to challenge Shou-Lao to a fight for his chi. And now, thanks to some ancient bylaws in the Book of the Iron Fist, it means that every immortal weapon can get in on the action. But here's the wildest part. Most of the real immortal weapons were lost in the time stream when the Heart of Heaven formed, so each of the capital cities of heaven had to select a new champion to enter the tournament. The immortal beast from each city surveyed our heroes and chose the one whose spirit resonated with them most. And boy, did they make some unexpected picks. Well, maybe not all of them are unexpected. Shou-Lao is obviously sending in his current Iron Fist, the martial arts master Lin Lai. The Kunlun kid looks ready for all-out action, but he's got a lot to prove. Rumor has it he might not actually have earned his fancy fists fair and square. Next up, Zagambo picked Storm to fight in their honor. Guess some of their sister tribes back on Earth must have had good things to say about their beloved weather goddess. Let's see if this Queen of Orphans makes Zhi. It's Xiezhi, couldn't tell you. Zagambo's enigmatic black unicorn lion proud. Standing in for Tiger's beautiful daughter is a relative newcomer, Odin's estranged daughter Angela. Can the hand of heaven channel all her rage in the name of Tiger Island? I got a feeling the answer is a resounding I. Want to know who Zhang Yao, the revered nine-headed black tortoise, chose to represent the lush island of Penglai? I've just got 3 words for you, kids. He is Groot. The Kingdom of Spiders had a lot of candidates to choose from, but they passed on our pals Peter and Penny to go with a woman nearly as lethal as their former champion, Bride of 9 Spires. Wait, what? Spires? Bride of 9 Spiders. That's right, gang. Make way for the Black Widow. Looks like Hoodoo, if that's how you say that. The creepy canine controlling the Undercity is betting on our favorite feral fighter, Wolverine. Will Logan be able to claw his way to victory, earn his place as the new Dog Brother X? What is a Dog Brother? I don't even know, bro. Only time will tell. And finally, stealing Kunji's, these names, bro, rightful spot in the tournament, it's the man who challenged Shou-Lao in the first place. He's a magical, metal-clad monarch behind all this madness. You love to hate him. He's Loki. Wait, something's not right here. I've got to check my roster. I thought it was supposed to be... Whoa, hold on. We've got another competitor. From the 8th city, the protector of refugees and lost souls has thrown in his hat into that ring. Oh my. In the service of Yin Long, the Black Dragon, we've got an unexpected new fighter, folks. Folks here know him as Dizang, but you can call him Daredevil. Things just got a lot more interesting, rivals. I can't wait to see what happens next. Well, that was a little wild. In the spirit of Daredevil, the next one is called Inner Devil. I mean, what do you expect? And it's him, of course, speaking again, right? I could feel their shock when I stepped into the Shenlong Arena to announce my participation in the upcoming tournament. They'd likely heard stories of Dizang, but they had no idea who the man behind the mask was. I'm sure they wondered how a guy like me went from patrolling the streets of New York to underseeing an ancient city of refugees and outcasts. But quite honestly, it wasn't too far of a leap. As Matt Murdock, I spent my days protecting people who had no way to protect themselves. That devotion to the downtrodden carried over into my double life as Daredevil. So even as the endless wars between gods and demons devoured my life, and all those I held dear. My focus was on making sure that no innocents got caught in the crossfire, but the safety of my people came at a steep price, a piece of my soul. To save lives, I had to deal with the Hand first. I had battled with the ancient ninja clan many times before, but now there was no deal to be had, only final judgment. There was once a time that I had let their demon lord, the beast, control me as his fist when my guilt took over me. But I had a new mission now, to prevent the few pieces left of the world I knew from being devoured. I would descend into hell and claim his life for myself, and more sin to add to the many I had accrued. I took down each warrior, dismantled each hideaway. One by one, the debt of lies and betrayals continued to grow, all for the greater good. With each descending step, those who trusted me could no longer continue down my road of self-sacrifice. By the end of my journey, I had sacrificed nearly everything to finally succeed. My own life, least valuable among them. But it was beyond the gates of hell, when my mission was complete, alone with the head of the beast in my hands, that I sank to my knees. The laughter of demons echoed in my ears as they cackled at my completed mission. For the beast was just one among innumerable dark warlords in this world. I listened to the gnashing of endless teeth across the splinter realms, to the terrified screams of divine beings from across pantheons known and unknown, to the final gasps of the fallen, tossed into what they called the God Quarry. It was there that I realized my faith had lost its meaning and my sins had amounted to nothing. But it was at my lowest that salvation found me. When I vanquished the beast, a captive spirit named Yin Long was set free. This immortal dragon offered a deal. He would help me absorb the beast's power if I would become his new champion, helping to restore his home, the 8th city, to its proper place in the heart of heaven. It was the definition of necessary evil, and it was a burden that only I could be trusted to bear. That's how I became Dazang, a champion devoted to saving other lost souls. My people may have called me something, but the horns still fit just the same. Yinlong told me that, together, we can end the war raging beyond the walls of these cities. So while my fellow heroes are busy battling for Shou-Lao's chi, I have a different prize in mind. The sword of Fuji, according to Yinlong, is the only weapon capable of breaking the seal on the tomb of his master, Chi-Yu, an ancient god capable of restoring balance to the universe. But there's a catch. As always, the sword was broken, and its fragments were absorbed into the arms of Lin Lai, the current Iron Fist. Based on our encounters so far, I can tell that he is a noble warrior, but I have a feeling he is not going to sacrifice his sacred weapon willingly, which means I'm going to have to take it the hard way. Pause. I don't have any desire to harm the protector of Kunlun. I remember Danny, but if we don't end this war soon, so many more will suffer. Not just seasoned warriors like us, but innocent children like little Lhasa. I can't allow that. And I also can't sit back and let more sinister forces twist this chaos to their advantage, as Hela did before she arrived in my city. Throughout my life, I've always fought for the greater good at any cost. And as long as there's still some good left in this world, I'm not planning to let anyone stop me now. That was pretty cool. I mean, that was one of the most interesting ones in this whole entire season. But now we have the last one here called Raising the Stakes. Now we lead into the next season. This is like the ending one is usually like a teaser, right? In a sense, like it ends it off and then teases the next season, so you kind of know what's happening next, you know? So this one has just ended off with the Grandmaster, Endwigast, I think is his name. And it's called Raising the Stakes, right? Raising the stakes, raising the stakes, raising the stakes. Dearest Shou-Lao, I feel impelled to send you a message to express my deepest gratitude for delaying the upcoming Shenlong tournament. Although you and I have rarely interacted over the many eons that we have existed, I have always kept a close eye on your sacred city. In fact, I'm proud to say that I have placed wagers on all 66 of the Iron Fists who have partaken in trial by combat to earn your legendary power. Not only did I earn quite a handsome sum when they succeeded, I also found myself thoroughly entertained by each of the events as they unfolded. You and the people of Kunlun certainly do know how to put on a show. Needless to say, I couldn't have been more thrilled to have learned that you would be hosting an even grander tournament in the heart of Haven, bringing together 8 fabled realms and an all-out brawl for ultimate power. But due to some recent unfortunate events that took place at a menagerie belonging to my fellow elder of the universe, the Collector, my schedule is unfortunately occupied at the time being. Because of this, I found myself deeply concerned that I will not be able to extend your contest. In addition, I would not be able to attend your contest. We're just ending it out, bro. It is what it is. In addition, I also happen to have a little game of my own on the horizon, and I was worried that a player I had selected as my champion might not be able to participate due to injuries sustained during your trial. Thankfully, however, it seems that the stars have aligned in everyone's favor. I do hope that you will save me a seat in your arena for when the time finally comes for battle. As an advanced token of my appreciation, I have sent along a playing card that I won in a game against Mephisto himself. From what I can tell, I believe it contains a stolen fragment of your chi. I considered keeping it as a trophy, but I thought it would be better off back with you, where it belongs. Perhaps one day, when the time comes to cash in all of our chips, you'll be so kind to return the favor. Until we meet in the arena, Endwigast. Endwigast, the Grandmaster. Okay, sorry. P.S. As one who has hosted many tournaments in my day, I do hope that you have plans to keep these heroes in line should they decide to deviate from the rules. They have the tendency to do so, I've found. And if you play your cards right and they don't drain every last bit of your life force, I may have an appearance at your next tournament myself. And that will lead into the next one, the next season, right? Or the Grandmaster. We'll find out what the Grandmaster is really doing in this one, right? Like, what's the point? Like, what are they doing? And it's the one where it's Love is a Battlefield. And technically, it's kind of cool how they lead into each other, because this one leads into Love is a Battlefield, right? Where it seems like they're playing like a chess match or something with these people on the board or something. And then the Night at the Museum, the most recent one, it's not the Grandmaster at the head of it. It's like the Collector and stuff, right? So I guess we'll see what those really mean, you know? But if you enjoyed and you're want to get more into it, you're interested in what's happening, let me know. And go ahead and, let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button if you liked it, dislike if you didn't. Check out in the description down below and on my channel for other lore, videos that I've made on this game in particular and other games, because I made some on other games and I'm going to be making more on other stuff in general. So if you do like lore, acting, voice acting, all that good stuff, and other than that, just whatever fun stuff I like to do, then go ahead and sub up. Go ahead and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned. We going crazy on the channel as much as we possibly can. You know what I mean? Doing our best. You know what I mean? Yeah, we do. Yeah, you do your best every day, man. You do your best. But anyway, let's just also go check out my shorts. My TikTok and all the good stuff, socials. Go check out the socials and stuff. But with that being said, I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for the next episode where we get into the Love is a Battlefield. And with that being said, watch the video that's on the screen. I'm sure it's a great video. You'll enjoy it. Maybe it is the one about Love is a Battlefield. But either way, watch the video that's on the screen. I hope you enjoy it. It's probably amazing.